Hello and welcome to Farm Matters. In this tutorial we will be looking how the Scottish Suckler beef support scheme works. The very first thing to note is that this scheme is only available to those in Scotland. The other criteria is the animal must be at least 30 days old and has to be 75% beef to qualify. If I then begin by choosing the cattle tab at the top of the screen and then the calf scheme tab, this will bring this disclaimer. If you fully understand and agree with the statement above, you can then click yes and continue, and this will take me to the grid where I can check for eligible calves. The first two columns we can see are assessment and then ear tag numbers. The assessment you will notice is in two colours, green for likely eligible and yellow, there is an issue that you need to look into further. To add animals to the claim is very simple. Simply choose the animal, right click and then add to claim. You will notice on the left hand side a green tick which indicates the animal has now been added to the claim. You may also need to check the dam calf history, which is simple to do. Choose the animal, right click and go to dam calvings. This then shows you the information regarding the dates and intervals, and as you can see this animal is 715 days, which means it would not qualify. This is the information that Farm Matters holds, but you can also check this with Scotty ID. If we wish to remove this animal, we simply right click and choose remove as ineligible. This will then mark the animal as ineligible for the claim now, but also means that they will not be considered for any future claims either. If I click remove, as you can see, it has now been removed from the claim. You may also need to check the animal is 75% beef to qualify for the scheme. If I find an animal which has a query, check breed is 75% beef, we can then right click and go to genealogy and then check the history of the animal. There may be scenarios where you have accidentally marked an animal as ineligible and you need to change that. If we search for an animal and we right click and mark as ineligible, we remove it. To add it back, we would simply go to on farm and events, search for the same animal, right click, go to view edit animal, the more tab, and then you'll see the box here with the drop down menu where we can click possibly eligible. If we click save, we can then go back into the calf scheme, search for the animal, and as you can see it is now back as likely eligible in the assessment. At the bottom of the screen you may have noticed the filters. These are there to help you see what has been claimed or what's not currently in the claim, rather than continuously scrolling through the grid. So for example, we have one in the claim, we have all these with issues. This is just a tool to help make the process quicker. To create the claim, you use the blue box in the bottom right hand corner. You can then see we have one animal in the claim, and you can choose to save the information as a CSV file or to print this out. Please note, very importantly, you must still submit the claim. If you're doing this via paper, then you must deliver this yourself, and if you're doing it through a CSV file, you will need to submit this to the Rural Payment and Services website. In this example, we'll click a print form, create, and as you can see, it brings the form up with the barcode. To view your receipts, you can do this by clicking on this button here, which will bring up a history of all your previous claims. Again, you can choose to save these as CSV files, or you can print them out by using the buttons to the right hand side. Hopefully, some of the things you have watched will help you maximise your use of the programme. Thank you for taking the time to watch this tutorial. If you found this video helpful, please drop a like and click the subscribe button below.